Just look at that in the sun. Just, yeah. And the sun's gonna come out in the sleet.
Good morning and welcome to Cooley Outdoors. I am your host, Brandon Scott. Sorry, it looked like the framing had changed sizes, but no, it says it's 16:9. I am your host, Brandon Scott, and with me today is going to be my father. We are here parked on the edge of the Norse Peak Wilderness, which is the wilderness northeast of Mount Rainier National Park and north of Highway 410 and Chinook Pass. We are going to be doing the Greenwater Trail number 1176 and then going up the Lost Lake Trail to Lost Lake. This is one of a handful of lower-ish elevation hikes you can hit in the Norse Peak Wilderness. The other one being, you can also go up to Echo Lake, or you can just stop at Greenwater Lakes, but that's not too much of a hike for us. That's a fairly short hike. I put the stats there. It's a forest ramble, as you can see, fairly low elevation. We are starting at 2,600 feet, and Lost Lake is at a shade over 3,800 feet. It is a 12-ish mile round trip to Lost Lake. Hopefully gonna get some fishing and some swimming in at Lost Lake. I will show you the two books that it's in. Beyond Mount Si, there's also a day hiking South Cascades, but I don't have that book at the moment. So Beyond Mount Si, number 63, Lost Lake, 11-mile out and back. Start at 25, go up to 4,000, then you got dropped back down to 3,800. Although on this map it says Echo Lake, Lost Lake's at 4,000. I'm pretty sure it's at 3,800. So yeah, forest ramble along the Greenwater River, and then you turn at the junction and bail off the Greenwater Trail up to Lost Lake. And then 100 hikes in Washington South Cascades. Olympics doesn't have Lost Lake, but it has the sister lake, Echo Lake, which is, you turn after Lost Lake, you go up to Echo Lake instead. I will show you the map. So this is the Goat Rocks map, I believe. And we're up here just at the very edge of the map. Forest Road 70 comes up off Highway 410. You park here, you've got the Natchez Trail, a 4x4 trail that goes up and over Natchez Pass and then drops down the Little Natchez River towards Yakima. We're in the same parking lot, 1176, up the Greenwater River, past Greenwater Lakes, to the junction with Trail 1185, up to Lost Lake. And if for some reason you want to continue, the Lost Lake Trail does end at Noble Knob, which we can do at some other time, and I'll probably tag it later. So yeah, let's go hit the trail and see what it's all about. Big fat paved parking lot. It is paved road the whole way, so you don't have to worry about that. And there's a small high point in the road that's higher than the trailhead, but other than that, if it's melted out at this elevation, you should be able to get here the whole time. Nice shiny signboard, Greenwater Lakes Trail 1176, 2 miles to Green Lake, 6 miles to Lost Lake, 7 miles to Echo Lake, and 12 miles to Corral Pass, which is where most people start their Noble Knob hike journey. Haven't done Noble Knob yet. When we do, I will tag that right there. Let's see here. Sabrina and I did this trail during the summer of COVID, but we only went to the trail junction. We didn't go up to either Lost or Echo Lakes, but we have been out here, so I know what the trail is like. It is a nice wide, soft tread to at least the junction with the lakes. If you're choosing to go between Echo Lake or Lost Lake, there are some slight but key differences. Echo Lake is a much larger lake than Lost Lake, but it also is a 2 mile longer around trip distance. It's also lower in elevation by, I think, 150 or 200 feet, and Echo Lake didn't get ravaged by, but it did definitely get touched by the... Woke up somebody. But it definitely did get impacted and touched by the 2017 Norse Peak fire, so there will be more blowdowns around the lake and approaching the lake, whereas I don't think Lost Lake ever got... I don't think the fire ever got down to the lakeshore. I know it got fairly close, but I don't think the trail or the lake itself got impacted. So yeah, we'll go to Lost Lake today, and then probably also some other time in the future we'll go to Echo Lake, and I'll also tag that there, which will give us 3 easy Norse Peak hikes all in the same vicinity of each other. So the 2 Greenwater Lakes, which used to be called the Meeker Lakes, as in the Meeker Mansion in Puyallup, same guy, they're not really lakes, they're more like wide swampy spots in the river. The Greenwater River is a spring-fed river. It's not a glacial-fed river like the nearby White River where it dumps into, but it's spring-fed, so it's clear, and especially this time of year there is not going to be nearly as much water in it as if you would have made it when the trail first melts out in early to mid-June. So it might not be as scenic of a river today, but we can definitely still hear it, and we'll see what the swampies look like. Other than that, we'll see you in a bit.
You getting feel already? If not, maybe try to get him this week.
Yeah.
That looks like good fishing.
I would say that looks like a good fishing or soaking hole. After about 3/4 of a mile, we have come up alongside the Greenwater River. I mean, it is midsummer, so it's not rocking and rolling super hard, but back there at that gravel bar you can see a log there. That used to be a footbridge, and there's cribbing on this side that is toppled over, and there was another footbridge further downstream. That's the horse ford down there. So somewhere up here we will find the current hiking ford. When Sabrina and I did this in the summer of COVID, there was 2 new footbridges for crossings then. Yep, here's one here. Okay, so this is the first crossing. Yeah, we're more like 8/10 of a mile, but so yeah, nice spring-fed river, so it runs clear year-round unless it's high runoff due to storms and putting a bunch of silt in the water. Nice, pretty bridge. Gets Dad going across. Go, scale boy. Oh, you're gonna take a picture for the mule? Show her what she's missing out on a nice easy walk. I mean, we've gained 100 feet of elevation in almost a mile, so at least this first 2.5, 3 miles she could have done pretty easily. First crossing of the Greenwater River along the Greenwater Trail on the edge of the Norse Peak wilderness. About 8/10 of a mile in from the trailhead. And it looks like we'll get to be on the sunny side of the valley now, instead of in the shade. A double doink over a almost mostly dead side channel. And now we get to be in dappled sunshine for a bit. Yeah, horse ford back that direction a few hundred feet, and now we continue, because eventually we'll end up on the other side again, because the lakes will be on our right when the river runs through them. So we have to make at least one more crossing before the lakes. Ooh, ah, pretty, pretty deep lowland to mid-elevation forest. Right, so this is one of the big draws to this Greenwater hike, is this little slot gorge the Greenwater goes into. The Greenwater Lakes are coming up in about 200 feet maybe. It's kind of hard to see through these baby hemlocks, but I'm not gonna see if I can get a little closer. I mean, people go down there. I went down there with Sabrina. You can get down there to it, but I figured I'd show you what it looks like from the trail side first. Nice deep set of pools before leading into a set of slides down there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This blue-green perfectly colored spring water in this little slot. Whereas, like I said, Greenwater Lakes are coming up. The first one's right here, but this is why so many people come and do this hike. You're 1.75 miles in. Am I telling you need to go down there? No. Will I? I might. I have before, but that water, that is what the draw is. And I mean, if you come early this summer, you can see the water stranding line is about 2 feet taller up on the rock on the other side. So this is nice and decently full earlier in the summer, and it's gorgeous, especially little, ow, ooh, that was a big mosquito. Especially a little later or earlier in the summer, or later in the day, I should say. Little mini gorge of the Greenwater River right next to Greenwater Lakes. That's a good spot. Another bridge, and this is the outlet of the first Greenwater Lake. Ooh, ah, pretty, huh?
Where the green stuff is, or fish you just flop there.
Yeah. Yeah, the lakes are more of a glorified wide swamp in the river, but still very pretty. Yeah, I should definitely take a picture of that. This would be a good spot for Nick to come out and do so a hand precaution formation investigatings. Mm-hmm. Ooh, another new professional bridge. I don't remember if these were here when Sabrina and I did it back 5 years ago or so. And there's the opening for the second bigger lake.
Maybe a real bridge instead of a log.
Yeah. Very pretty river. Would be.
Lots of logs to choose from.
Yeah. Would be very fun to fish if there weren't so many people walking along, and I'm sure playing in the river on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
But that's okay. One river does not ruin them all. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't think we're officially in the wilderness area yet, so they can still do that. Yeah, the wilderness is until right after the second lake, which I'm sure there will be a sign. And this will be the second and much larger Greenwater Lake. And if I remember right, when Sabrina and I are here, we watched at least one beaver and a muskrat swim by when we were hanging out at this lake, this bigger lake.
Yeah, that would be a place for them.
Yeah. So this is what a lot of the lakes look like up in the, what is it, the Tumac Plateau, a big flat cinder cone field just north of White Pass in the William O. Douglas Wilderness. And then this is also what the lakes look like in the Indian Heaven Wilderness, but you're at 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 feet, so obviously the trees are a lot shorter, but you bounce out between subalpine meadows and silver fir forests.
So everybody else can have, they'll go here too.
Yeah.
But I won't start a fire.
Yeah. Much bigger in area, but also a lot more has silted and filled in. Big fish just jumped there.
Looks like that was up there
Mm-hmm.
at one time.
Yeah, another big jump there.
I see that.
Missed both
The
of them.
ripple does.
Mm-hmm. The much larger of the two Greenwater Lakes. That almost sounds like a pike, but we're way too low in elevation for that. Must have been a magpie or something. Jumped again.
Just touching the surface to let you know this is my pond.
Going slurp, slurp, slurp.
This is my pond.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bellies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those are good and ripe thimbleberries. Father want thimbleberry? Best way I can describe thimbleberries is they're flavor-wise, they're more salmonberry or raspberry than blackberry, but texture-wise, it'll make sense when you eat one, but they're like velvety when you bite into them. And they also, yeah, it's soft and velvety and kind of fuzzy, and there's a lot of berries to juice ratio. There's a very high berry to juice ratio. But they are good. They're different. They're different than the blackberries and blueberries and most of the other things you'll find. So they're nice and they're a treat. They only grow fairly low in elevation in wet environments. And they're usually some of the first berries to ripen in the summer too. Sound like there was something dripping or falling. Even the little yellow succulents are in bloom up on the rocks. It's not stone crop. Stone crop looks different. They look like the classic succulents leaf with the big round bubble leaves. That was something different. But that was definitely blooming, or whatever they consider a bloom for themselves. Ooh, ah, pretty, pretty. Whole bunch of fish over there dancing about. One just jumped behind the ducks too. And there's a couple of ducks right here too, probably mama and her babies. Oh, this would make a good spot for a long exposure on the way back if we so choose. Although by then the sun's gonna be more like over there.
Back at you.
Oh, well, we can take a long exposure when we go to Echo Lake next time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fresh beaver chomp. Heck yeah. Although I bet he's pissed I didn't quite make it to the water.
It's enough you can
Harvest the...
get a bunch of it. You can get a bunch.
You don't get to see that fresh that very often. That's good to see. Still around here. I kind of wish he'd be swimming about so he could have tail slapped at us, but oh well. Heck yeah, dude. Super duper bridge crossing the Greenwater for the 5th time, and some massive trees. This is giving me Grover the Patriarchs vibes. I'm pretty sure all these flowers are nettles. I'm pretty sure. I did take a picture of them so I can tell you positively once I see it done. Big bridge. We are 2.5 miles in. So if you want to go just a bit further than the lakes, that and good soaking spots too.
You got all the fast water there and slow water there. That would be in there.
Yeah, and back there at that riffle between those two stumps too. Yep. We're looking at that fishing just as much as swimming. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's good stuff right here, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Think so. Methinks, yeah, main trail hanging right up here, up hitherto. Yep, and we'll be crossing the wilderness boundary here, hopefully in a few more steps, and then trail junction shortly after that. All right, so after 3 1/3 miles, we have reached the junction where Lost Lake splits up and goes to the right, and the Greenwater Trail continues down to the left towards Echo Lake. We are sitting at, what did that say, 3,100 feet, and we got to end up at 3,800 feet at Lost Lake. So we've gone half the distance and done just about half the elevation, but the Greenwater River is another, I'd say 8,200 feet in elevation further down from us. We haven't seen it since we left the lakes. So now we start climbing the Lost Lake Trail to Lost Lake. Got about 2.5 miles left. Little potato. One good thing about Wildfire Ridge is it opens it up and lets all the grasses grow out. So then you get lots of potato action. Aided by 3, I think they were F-18s or F-35s flying over. And so everyone flipped out like that. There's one squeaking off to our left. There was one squeaking off to our right. I saw one running in the grass out in the distance, about 100 feet.
Yeah, this one's just sitting here eating.
Mm-hmm. And then you got this one just grubbing. Although I think he's seen us now because he hasn't moved.
You don't say that.
Yeah. I am just another rock. Nope. Jets fly back again, we'll get a cacophony. Oh, that sounds like a regular passenger jet. Yep, that's just a regular Alaska jet.
Got the cheeks full.
Yeah. The roundest little round you ever did see. How close are you gonna let me get before you scamper away? Because if you scamper, everybody on YouTube can see you. Oh, you're a little shit. You're such a cute little shit. About as good of PIKA action as you can ever get. He's so freaking cute. God, I love them so much. Little nose twitch. Grasshopper. You're just so adorable. Harvesting all the bear grass in the aftermath of the 2017 Norse Peak fire. You're just so incredibly cute. Will you let me get one more picture of you, or are you gonna take off? Is it still looking at you? Oh yeah. Send a Snapchat. everybody. All right. Oh, he settled back down. Let's see if we get to scare up any more of them. Bye, little mountain potato, and he's gone. Let's try this again. 5.9 miles, 1,600 feet of cumulative gain. 3 hours on the dot. And once we go up and over this, after harassing pikas for the last quarter mile of openness through the fire scar, we should be arriving at Lost Lake. Bing, bang, oh yeah. Misasia agua. Lots of grassy shoreline. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 2 fish already jumped. Dare be your agua. And we gotta go find a semi-shaded spot to hang out with, which is gonna be easier said than done because the trail stays on this side of the lake, on our right side, if you're looking at it from this side, which the sun won't be shading it till sunset, which really want us to be able to get over to the far side over there, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Look at how much the lake level drops. It's come down probably a solid 8 feet, 6-8 feet. All right, let's go find ourselves a shady spot. This is what I was grubbing on. No, it was definitely blue, not red. It's definitely the blue kind, not the red kind. Pick our way over this deadfall. I don't know about this. Denied up the last 50 feet by persistent deadfall. That would be a way to go. I think I'm gonna go investigate this campsite, because this might be the one we want. It's a good quality campsite. Will we get a view of the lake in the shade, or do we have to pick one or the other? Kind of think we're gonna have to pick one or the other. Oh yeah, the lake's way out there. Although, if we can make it to that next clump of cedar, we might be all right. There's a heck of a lot of water gone. You want to call it here? Or do you want to see if you can make it to that clump of cedars?
Let's go down the cedars.
You want to go this way, or do you want to go on the trail? I'll poke through here, see what it's like. Yeah. I think we should be able to walk through the grass without too much difficulties. This will be good. Oh yeah, lots of grasshoppers. I know what fly I'm using. Should be good. Especially with all the vole holes in the ground here, we should be able to find some snake action, some lizard action in here too. And elk poop. Yeah. Just about to say, lots of elk poop. It looks like once you get further over here, the lake drops off fairly quickly too, so should be decent for swimming and fishing. Yep. Solo guso. Oh yeah, there's a log in the shade of the cedar tree right there, and it's only going to get better as the sun keeps moving. All right, I'll find a spot to set up a long exposure, and that's 6 miles.
I'm pretty sure the trail would have led us here anyway, but oh well. Yeah, got some logs for shade. I see fish jumping. It's gonna be a good day. Good day, good day. Huh? Where? No way.
That long, right there in the middle.
Oh my God, there is.
I'm out of here.
You probably smelled me.
Yeah.
You probably smelled me when I was fishing over there.
Yeah. He said, there's something good in here to eat. I'm coming to find that shit.
That's a big one.
Where's the fish at? Come eat that.
Stick the
Stick the GoPro in there.
GoPro in there and watch it swim. Oh, he turned around and smelled me. Red light still go blinky blinky? Yeah. Sweet. Oh, that felt good. Your turn.
Like 6 in that long.
ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen this. So the only time I've ever seen it like this was 2 Septembers ago during the chum run in Tacoma. Going out to go do a boat, and every morning we go drive out, and I shit you not, there was hundreds of chum salmon jumping up in the Foss waterway when we come out of the marina every morning. It was ridiculous. This is the only thing that comes close to that.
Camera should have picked in on. I mean, they're all coming out of the water too. They're not just.
Oh yeah, they're not just slurping; they're jumping.
They're jumping 2, 3, or 4 inches out of the water to get them.
All right, it is now 2:15. We have been here for just shy of an hour and a half, and since I did go swimming, and I'll show you. Obviously, I would have shown the long exposures and the swimming and all those. I'll show the clips of it, but to reiterate, we're gonna walk around the shore to over there-ish somewhere so you can look back up at Noble Knob. And as you can see, the thunderstorms are starting to come in upon us. That dark chunk in particular has made rumblings at us at least twice, if not 3 times. Didn't catch any fish, didn't get a prayer of catching any fish. That looks shallow. You can see where the drop-off is out there, but I even only got out to about halfway between here and there, and I was up to my nuts. And then it got quite deep quite quickly, so I bet that drop-off is more like 12, 15 feet. So, and that's where the fish were. Which that is the best strategy for lake fishing from shore, is you find structure like a log or lily pads or something, or the drop off, and you fish there. Sometimes you can get to it, sometimes you can't. Like oh my god, this is all elk clomping through here when this is still muddy, probably a month and a half ago. But yeah, there's a lake Uncle Jim used to take Jared and I horsebacking to, which is actually how we got him to be interested in fly fishing. We waded up into our nuts so we could drop our flies off right on the drop off, and we probably bagged 7 or 8 fish that day for dinner. And then Jim went, maybe the fly fishing thing ain't too bad. And then, like, if you go back and go watch the Crater Lakes video, and Nash and I went up to Crater Lakes a couple of falls ago on the edge of the Lake Chelan Sawtooth Wilderness. See, if it wasn't so dang sunny and hot, that grassy spot there would have been the spot to hang out, because you would have got a better overall view of the lake. But we were not sitting in the sun. But yeah, if you go watch the Crater Lakes fishing video, I was fishing in Crater Lake, and I was casting right into the grass patches on the fringe of the lake, and probably a combination of tossing there and me being possibly the only one that's fished there in months and months and months. I was bagging fish left, right, and center for the 10 minutes I could stand being in Zewata, because that water was really freaking cold. You're 1.5 miles up, 7,000, 8,000 feet, and it was October. The air temperature probably hadn't seen 50 degrees in 2 or 3 weeks. The water temperature was about that too. So we're coming around over here far enough to see Noble Knob and what it looks like on this side. Noble Knob's gonna be over there. I saw it while swimming, so I know you can see. You just gotta come over here and see it. This isn't all just knocked down by you, is it? Is there a trail you're following? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they went clomping through the mud really good when it was still mud. Lots of fish jumping. None of them were willing to be caught by me. If it wasn't so sunny and hot today, I mean, if it was not as hot but still sunny, we probably would have sat over here. But alas, we didn't. So, no adventure. Oh, those thimbleberries look like they're ripe yet. The grass looks a lot softer over here. Yeah, they're jumping a lot closer to shore over here too. Alright, so there's Noble Knob. Yeah, pretty sure that's Noble Knob. Let's whip out the old iHike, or the old Peak Finder, and take a look, see what doth it say. Zoom it out some so I can see. Yeah, that be Noble Knob. So you can hike up there from Corral Pass. Look at how much more definition. I thought I saw a frog jumped here. Guess not. I say, come around on this side and look at how much more definition there is in that rock.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
So yeah, that's Noble Knob there. We can hike there from Corral Pass. If and when we do, I'll post that video right there. But other than that, the mergansers have come back over here. I don't see where the goose ended up. Yeah. That's another rumble. I guess it's time to scoot on down the mountain then. Oh, there's a third one. And a fourth one, and a fifth one. Oh, this is the good bush right here. This is the good bush right here. Don't know when I'm going to get such good thimbleberryage next. Oh, gimme. Attempt to do the outro now. Thank you for joining us on this Cooley Outdoors adventure. I've been your host, Brandon Scott, along with my father, where we did the Greenwater Trail up the Greenwater River to Greenwater Lakes, and then took the Lost Lake Trail to Lost Lake. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy the video, give it a thumbs down. Either way, please leave a comment down below so I know what I can improve on next time. Ratings. Let's start with the overall ratings. Accessibility. It is like an hour-and-a-half drive. You didn't even make it to Mount Rainier National Park. It's a short drive to get here. It's paved the whole time, so it's usually, at least the Greenwater Trail is usually one of the first trails in the area, mountain trails in the area, to melt out each summer. So it's got about a big of a window for a mountain trail into a wilderness you could ask for. So accessibility, 5 stars. Difficulty, going up the lakes. Going up to Greenwater Lakes is easy. Going up to Lost Lake, that turns into a 12-mile day with 1,600 feet of elevation gain. So yeah, it's a bit more difficult, but the trail's in good condition and you're in the shade the whole time. And no particular spots are steep, so I'm still going to give it 3 stars. And enjoyment, you're not getting much in the way of views. You're in the forest the whole time, but along the Greenwater Trail you get good river views. And then Lost Lake is a pretty little lake. Not super ton of great mountain views on the other side of it, but it's not a bad lake. I'm gonna give enjoyment. I didn't catch any fish, but most people probably won't even bother bringing fishing stuff, so I'll give it a solid 3 stars. It was a good day. I'm not gonna say it was a bad day. So an actual measurements, yeah, 11 3/4 miles round trip. Gained 1,600 feet in elevation. And it took Dad and I at least 3 hours to go the 6 miles up one way, and we're currently at an hour-and-a-half and almost 3/4 of the way back. So yeah, it's not super, it's a bit long, but if you're looking to test yourself and stretch your legs and see if you really can do a 10-mile or a dozen-mile hike, this would be a good one to do it, because this is what the lower trail looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous. Pretty freaking good by any stretch of the imagination. What's next? Well, may or may not have Sunday off, depending on how heavy the schedule is. And Nash and I are debating on what we want to go do then. And after that, I've got a staycation coming up where I'm taking a week off of work and hanging out in the state to go on some hikes. And I've got 3 or 4 of them planned to culminate in going up Goat Ridge to Goat Lake in the Goat Rocks Wilderness. Will be the big bad boy on Sunday with everybody that I can muster. Then after that, don't really know. Eventually we'll head back to Montana, go see Jared to cut up firewood for the winter in somewhere in mid to late October. And might go down to Yellowstone for a day again there, so there'll be some sort of Yellowstone content. Other than that, we'll see what we can pick and pull and put in, as summer is rapidly starting to turn the corner as we enter these first days of August. Still got a whole hot month of August and September, and then you got a chunk of October for fall color hikes, and then the weather will start to turn. So you got 2.5-ish good months of hiking left, and we'll see how many hikes we can stuff into that. So yeah, stay tuned. Should hopefully finish out the summer with a flurry and go into fall with some other good tidbits. Other than that, have a good one and ciao.